Ma'am, unmute yourself. Ma'am, unmute yourself first.
Good morning. I'm Mrs. Ramkumari from India, along with Mr. Ravi Shukla sir, on the channel of TNB. Every week, we are inviting the great scholar who are working in the educational field to bring some new challenges, which will benefit for every human being, not only for teacher and student, but for the all educationalist. And it's a immense pleasure. Today we are having Dr. ALESA from Armenia country. Welcome you, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, please introduce yourself. Tell us everything about yourself because I know your profile is very interesting. You are the international speaker also. So it's a pleasure to know more about you.
Okay, good morning one more time. I am ALESA DURGARYAN from Armenia, working here in Armenia and in different countries, foreign countries, as an English teacher, as an ESL, EFL, ESP teacher and teacher trainer. And also I'm a global speaker and global educator here in Armenia, working as an English teacher as a foreign language, and also as a teacher trainer, and also working in different countries, colleges, and universities, just having lectures on different subjects in the sphere of pedagogy. I have my MAs in the field of foreign languages and also in the field of psychology. And also, I have my PhD in the field of pedagogical sciences. I think just a brief just introduction about me. And today I am going to speak about the CPD in teacher's life because being as a teacher, first of all, I think it's a big honor for every teacher in her life because we can't just born. In some cases, we say that teachers just were born like teachers, not they just get. But at the same time, we can say that if you really want to be a teacher of 21st century, you should just get, you should develop yourself, and why not educate yourself and become the one that you are really is appropriate for the 21st century. Because we teachers, we are like creators that we have to create. And always I just compare it that we are like a magic magician who has a stick in her or his hand and tries to do some kind of magic things in the life of students. And for it being such kind of teacher, you should have your CPDs, like continuing professional development. And in this case, it's very important one to develop yourself. And today I'm going to speak a little bit about it, about the CPT in teacher's life, because we as teachers, we can't stand at this one just point, like telling that now we are teachers and I have my BA and it's all. I can enter the school and start teaching. Yeah, you can enter the school and start teaching, but at the same time you have to go forward to develop yourself in order to be an experienced one. And why not in future try to help the ones who are beginners, try to train them because there is a big difference. I remember when I was a beginner teacher, it was many, many years ago when I just graduated my BA university, and I was a beginner teacher, and it was too difficult for me as a teacher. But during these whole years, I was trying to attend different kinds of educational centers, seminars, trainings, etc., in order to get more and more experience. And nowadays, as being a global educator, international speaker, and also teacher trainer, it allows me to help other beginner teachers to train them, to share my experience, to train them with not only with theoretical background, theoretical materials, but also practice them, give them a chance to be more and more experienced, to get acquainted with them with the new technologies, new methods that can be used during the lesson in order to make your lesson more interesting and more fun and full of not only knowledge like theoretical knowledge but also with just uh, trainings and also practice. And let's start, and I will start. First of all, I would like to share the one that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change your education and your all your life path. And this is very important thing because in this case you can just have an opportunity to get educated. As my some of my friends always say, they say, Alice, you are just a long-lasting forever student because you just start something and then when you while finishing you start another training trying to get, and that's why it's something that you should just continue during the whole your life. And first of all, let's start to find out who is really the teacher. Because if we ask our, even not only students, not only people, but also everyone, they will have just different kinds of this thing. It can be a scientist, it can be like an educator, a creator, a moderator, a student, why not? Yeah, because the teachers, it can just inspire, a good teacher can inspire a hope, can give something, can create something, can motivate not only students but also at the same time or his colleagues at school doing different kinds of projects, and in this case just inspiring them to go forward. And in education sphere, usually teachers have different kinds of roles. It can be like a teacher, can be head of department, assistant head or education officer, principal, assistant director, or sometimes as when we plan our lesson, we try to imagine ourselves instead of students in order, for example, will this activity work if I use this technique or if I use this game or if I use this method or not. And we try to think of how can it, what kind of reaction will be from the side of students. And according to it, we have different kinds of professional roles in education, and we can try to analyze even not only during the planning but also at the end of the lesson, even after conducting the lesson, when we are trying to analyze to give some kinds of feedback, we should just pay attention to it that we should analyze it from different sides, like 360 degrees, just circle, we try to analyze it. And according to it, we should just choose what kind of professional development we want. Because when we talk about the CPDs, at the first point, we just firstly want to know what is it and what can be included in professional development curriculum. Because we can say, no, it can be only our BA. No, it's everything that we can just include in it. It can be knowledge, can be skills, abilities, and also usage of modern types, and also why not to form a methodological just culture, because we have not only to give, to share our skills, but also at the same time, especially nowadays, try to develop the critical thinking, metacognition, why not analyzing and more practical thinking skills for our students, because they are maybe many years ago we were just training. Nowadays we have to base on the practical basement, because the society develops and everything just develops very just quickly, and we have just in some cases just to run after the development, not to walk. And that's why it's very important one to just continue your professional development. And according to different kinds of roles, we have also tried to want, first of all, to find out why do we need CPD? Why do we want to continue our professional development? Is there any kind of necessity of it or not? Because I can develop myself, like to be more educated one. I want to have my CPD because I want career promotion in my workplace. I needed it, for example, in some cases, like to certification of work conditions, or why not salary? In some cases, yes. When you have more and more offer, for example, qualification, it can also influence on your work, on your salary too, and also about the level, about the role and place in the society, because you can be more and more educated, and in your society you will have a greater role, and etc. These are different kinds of like positions, different kinds of roles that you can take if you need your if you after conducting your CPD. And first of all, what is our aim in order to have CPD? We have to gain knowledge and skills. I want to use and get acquainted with the new technologies and methods, especially nowadays. Maybe before the COVID, in some cases, it was not so useful, or not, maybe not often. We use different kinds of online technologies, online platforms in order to conduct our lessons, or involve any kind of maybe platforms online which can be useful and make our lessons more interesting one. But due to COVID-19, after it and during it, we started using virtual platforms, and according to it, we just trying to get acquainted with the new technologies which make our lessons be more just available, a more flexible one, and why not? In some cases, they are just novelty for our students, and they are just eager to get in the lesson, to be part of the lesson, and be always active. And we started just to plan our lesson like um, active student-centered lessons, and also professional growth, because I want to grow professionally in my field, to be really an experienced just teacher. As you see, in some cases, we have, as I have told, it looks like a circle, because in some cases you can just say that I can start something, and it's like it has end. No, it's like an endless just process when we talk about the CPD, because we start from, for example, we choose a teacher training and try to just pass it, and the second part goes to the professional just growth, because when I attend, maybe not 100%, but 90%. Surely you will get new knowledge and experience skills, and it means that you professionally start just growing. And then goes to another one like motivation and experience that usually teacher just gain when they just are involved in any kind of teacher professional just training, and then goes to the try to use the skills, the experience, everything that, oh, while using, I will remember that, oh, this one is not, I don't know, a properly one, or there is some kind of lack, or I'm short of knowledge in this sphere, or for example use it to this platform, and again I go to the first point and start another professional training, again going until, oh, I'm interested in this field. Let's try this one. And as you see, it's a circle that we usually go through all the parts of it. And at the end, we again start another one. And from this point, it's very important one. Let's go and see what can be included about the professional development. We talked about the mm, trainings and what are they, especially if they are just process of education that usually the teachers or the educators are involved and go like a part of their education in order to be more experienced. And also in some cases it goes to like courses qualification as a teacher can receive after attending such kind of trainings. And in this case, what can we do in order to develop our CPD? At first, we can just join to different teaching professional programs, especially nowadays when mm, we have different kinds of online and other kinds of trainings on the virtual platform. It doesn't matter that you are far from, for example, the training center. You can just join on the virtual platform and gain your knowledge and experience. And we can add other college courses. Again, I can use virtual platform in order to attend such kind of college courses. And maybe if it was difficult for me a few years ago to attend, for example, any kind of Oxford courses, teaching courses, or any European or American or other countries teaching courses, nowadays I I am available and I have a permission because it can be on the virtual platform. And the next point is reading necessary literature and journals. There are just huge amount of it that you can find. You can just Google only one, for example, even if you Google CPD, you can find huge information on CPD. How can you do, where you can start, how can you continue, and what kind of result you can just get from it. And also visiting. Maybe I will visit these kinds of, for example, just school or language center and try to get something. And one of the most, I think, and preferable things is attending to the conferences, webinars, and sessions, and you can just gain your just knowledge and skills in this sphere. Because any kind of conference or session or webinar, you can just choose the one that you really need. For example, I think that I have some kinds of difficulties with class management. I will search, find some kind of session or webinar or conference on it, attend, and there are always the speakers who really just share great information, great just techniques that can be used in order to manage your class. Why not about the time manager or management? And even, for example, when you don't know, for example, what kind of techniques should I know in order to teach grammar, for example. This is also a very important one. And let's go about a little bit about the aim of trainings because it gives techniques, approaches, materials, and everything can be just used in order to develop yourself. And what can be in such kind of courses, let's say in CPD program. First of all, setting positive atmosphere because when you are involved, you always get positive attitudes, thoughts, etc., and you can use them. Then, basic teaching skills, and in some cases, we can just say that we can use and get a really good methodology for it. Then we can have synchronic and asynchronous teaching, and at the same time at the end we can just have some kind of product for it because I can just practice and get some kinds of practice. It can be information, it can be skills or new techniques, etc. And also let's find out what will it give at the end, just to understand the national curriculum, not only national but also international, be able to plan and prepare for lesson, to have more interesting lessons, to have strong classroom skills, and know how to teach We know before the training for our CPD, we know about how to train our teachers, how to teach them. But now we are more experienced one and we know more skills and maybe more methods and techniques that I can use in order to teach effectively. And also be aware of assessment, what kind of technique, because sometimes we just say that you are going to assess only with grades. No, there are different types of assessments that can be used in order to teach and also to assess our students. That's why it's very important to have your CPD, to go and also at the same time to give your students something that really they need in order to get 21st century knowledge and experience, because they maybe in a few years ago, it was something that, for example, you should get theoretical part, then you should work in order to get your practical skills. But nowadays, we don't have time. Just we have to enter to join the society with already with practical skills. That's why it's very important for teachers also to be practical tools. I think I try to give you, yeah, I try to give you the more main maybe peculiarities and content parts of your CPD. How can you develop them? Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for detailed explanation of CPD. Ma'am, you have a very great international as a speaker experience. Would you like to share a few experiences with us?
Um, yeah, why not? Yeah, I am a global educator and international speaker, working as a trainer, as a teacher trainer in different countries, and also having from time to time training courses in different countries for different schools, colleges, and universities, having demo lessons. It's really a good one because during all this experience, you not only give, but at the same time, you get something because you, while before planning and doing your presentation, you try to find everything about that culture, about the country, about the country education system, because every time when you just plan something, you try to just come near to close to that country. It also gives an experience for it. And also being as an international speaker in different kinds of conferences, I not only share but at the same time try to attend and to listen to my friends, to all other speakers who are on the conference and try to get. And what is important, for example, maybe I will be in a conference where the speaker is speaking on another topic, which is not my sphere, but I try to understand, to get something from that seminar or maybe speech and try to just change it and use it in my sphere. It's also, and also being on the international platforms, it gives you an opportunity just to develop yourself as a trainer, as a teacher, as an educator too, because you try to gain, you try to be experienced in all spheres, in different international cultures, on different international platforms. It's also a very good one because really a very good experience to know everything, not only professional from the professional point, but also from cultural point too. And why not learn languages, some words from different languages?
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful experience which we heard about to you. Ma'am, you have done your PhD. So, and you have mentioned you have done PhD in psychologist, right, ma'am?
MA in psychology.
Okay. So please tell us now something about your PhD experience, how you have done this, and why you have chosen this field only.
At first, I was, so when I got my BA, I decided to continue in the field of psychology. That's why I applied for MA program. for psychology, and even started working as a school psychologist at school and had about 5 6 years of experience, and at the same time just experiencing into just foreign languages and psychology, because foreign languages was like a language which helped me to go to international platform and get more knowledge in English literature materials, everything, and try to explain. But later I changed my profile, just basing and also getting experience in the field of pedagogical sciences, because I started working in different international colleges, universities, and schools, and in different parts I was just teaching different subjects like methodology, like teaching English as a foreign language, or ESP English, or just practical pedagogy, and etc. And that's why I just tried and just applied for the pedagogical science chair for getting my PhD. That's quite little bit just, but at the same time I am in the psychology too, because it can be psychology of pedagogy in this case.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time. And I hope we will be meeting in next sessions also. Dear friends, I hope you have enjoyed today's session with Dr. Elisa. Next Sunday, again, we will meet with another guest with new topic. Till then, namaste.
See you. Goodbye.